What's good, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, and I'm showing a fan favorite, so I do need to take care of my Herald of Ultimates build next, but I'm showcasing y'all the best deck in the world, and I took it, of course, to my locals today. I did superb, and it's some new additions into the deck, and I'm also planning on doing something with these right here, the 3 time matings and these 3 time lords. I plan on incorporating them in the future, just simply because I can search time mating off my Benton, and I think she's so abusive being a light fairy. And a 1-star, I can literally put 1 spell back into my deck, especially off a Ritual Sanctuary. So I think Herald Time Lord is going to end up, I might make it a trend if it hasn't already been tried, but I definitely just think that this deck is so awesome because you can try so many different things. You guys know I've literally done 35 different builds on this deck. I didn't know it was possible to make 35 different ways on the same deck. But anyways, let's hop right into this deck profile. So we're playing 3 copies of Herald. This is anti-no Yu-Gi-Oh at all. This guy is like, the only way you can out him was either with a Kaiju or a Solemn Strike. That's the only way you out him. The other way, you have to have more cards basically than me, which is not gonna happen. Because I mean, I end with like ridiculous amounts of cards in my hand. Sometimes I have to set spells so I don't have to discard. The deck just pluses way too hard. It pluses harder than all the decks out right now. Zoodiacs have a +1 due to them being, you know, butchered and limited by the ban list. Bro, I have plus. It's stupid, and I can Ouroboros and put you at 5 cards, and if you use the hand trap, you're at 4. So Herald is just like unstoppable. I think Herald got outed today by Solemn Strike, which naturally that's the only thing that I have to worry about, Solemn Strikes. But I normally use my Zoodiac combo to bait out the strike, because I start with the Zoodiac, so they assume I'm playing pure Zoos and they don't know I'm playing Heralds. But anyways, 3 Heralds. He's the best monster in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. He's my favorite monster, and he's one of the oldest. I mean, I've been playing this deck for half of my life. I'm 21. I've been playing it for like half the time I've spent on Earth. But anyways, 3 Pom Pom Girls. She's so clutch. This is like, you need Pom Pom Girl for your Herald. If you don't have her, it's just not worth summoning him. She just searches anything. She also searches Time Maiden because it's a light fairy. So I'm going to do another build with the Time Lords, but I'm showcasing you guys my Herald Zoodiac because this is one of the most consistent Herald variations that I have done. Get a little closer for me, please, sir. Next up, we're doing 3 Handy Mannies. This guy helps me out a lot. He starts up my combos. If I draw him, if I draw him, her, and him, that's Herald right there. If I draw him in pre-prep, that's Herald right there. There's so many different combinations of cards that you can draw where they lead to Herald. Like, literally half this deck is just him. Like, if you have Ritual Sanctuary, Benton, and Manju, you have Herald. If you have Benton, if you have Dawn and Herald, that's Herald. If you have Prep and Pre-Prep, that's Herald. It's just like so many different ways that you can get to Herald. But he's 3 extra ways. He's also a level 4 light fairy. And he's one of the most broken cards for all of your combos. For some reason, Manju is just that clutch. If you have Manju Pre-Prep, Herald, if you have Manju with Zoodiac Barrage, you have your Zoodiac combo and you get Herald and you still get Emerald. If you have Manju with Ties of the Brethren, you have Herald and you have Barrier Statue. Like, Manju is just the most clutch and normal summon of the deck because he gets you straight to what you need. We're also playing 3 copies of Staff, which is just so broken. Pop a card, draw a card. This is how I break boards going second. I like to keep this combo handy. If I have 4 to 5 fairies in my hand, I try to save stick and chair because I know going second I'm going to need it to recover and also to just out maybe that back row, like that strike. I'm definitely going to be able to bait it out. And then also we're playing 3 thrones, Staff and Throne. Every time you summon Herald, you're going to sit on this and put this in his hand, and he dictates who plays and who doesn't play. So I just love the way the deck flows. It's got good feng shui. It looks beautiful. Love the artwork. It's a broken deck. And moving forward to basically the anti-meta version of the deck, the anti-meta portion of the deck, which is just double Honest and Barrier Statue. You can't play Barrier Statue without Honest, and I think this deck makes the strongest Barrier Statue, not only because you have Herald next to it, but because Honest is, once you make your Barrier Statue off of Ties of the Brethren, you get Honest guaranteed. No other deck has a way to protect their Barrier Statue by battle. They have to run stuff like Moon Mirror Shield, Seal of Orichalcos. I don't need that. I just have Honest and I search it. So I think my deck makes the best Barrier Statue, and you protect it. Like I'm saying, it's the strongest Barrier Statue in the game. Like, you can't special summon, you can't activate anything. What are you really gonna do if you're not playing lights? You can't do anything at all. And I bodied so many people just with this little guy, especially pure Zoo. Yeah, even my homie Colton, he's kind of flipping me off right now because I savaged him with the Barrier Statue. Like, it's just so clutch. Pure Zoo cannot out this. Like, they basically have to try to attack over it, and what happens? You drop an Honest. Like, they really can't out. It's a continuous effect. They can't chain my body. They can try to enemy controller, but I'm gonna negate it with Herald.
Can't even kaiju it.
You can't kaiju. You have to have the light kaiju. It's just so stupid, and you can never resolve slumber with him on the field. So I love it so much. And moving forward to the zoos, it's very, very small. We play 2 copies of Ratatouille, 1 Queen of the Snakes, and 1 of that Goat Sheep. Bad, because it's with it. And I hate drawing it, but if you're going to play zoos in any deck, you have to play Ram Ram now due to the fact that we have 2 Ratatouilles, and also the Zoodiac combo revolves around popping Ram Ram with your Trident now. And moving forward to the best part of the deck, we have the preps. All of these are +1s, including prep. I explained this in another video. This card is one of the most skillful spells in my entire deck because Dimensional Barrier and Solemn Warning make me waste my Dawn. Like, when I activate this and they Solemn Warning it goes straight to the grave. It's a waste. Now, if I didn't have another copy of this, I can just prep, add another fairy, and get this back anyways. Then they wasted 2,000 light points for nothing. And I still put it back into my deck. So Preparation of Rites is actually more broken than pre-prep because it's also not once per turn. So I can't wait till this card comes back at 3, if it does. But the 4 preps, get a little closer for me, please. And we also have 3 sauce. So you guys know I wasn't running Desires for like the last 3 different variants that I did on this deck. The reason being was because I was playing Zoo. I'm still playing Zoo, but I was playing more Zoo like Speedroid, Terratops, Fusion Subs before the ban list. So I just felt like there's too many precious cards and I didn't want to banish my Luna Light Black Sheep. And the other reason was I sold my French Desires at San Antonio Regional. So I didn't even have them, but I picked them up today. And it's just so important to have +1s in this deck because the way I play with Herald is I want to literally skillfully match my opponent card for card. And what I mean in literal terms is if you have 6 cards in your hand, I want to have 6 cards in my hand. That means every single card you play, I can negate it. If you're left with no cards, all I'm going to do is just attack you for game. It's not like you have a Mirror Force or a Battle Fader. You have nothing on field, nothing in hand. What are you going to do? Herald wins. Is that broken? So Pot of Desires is clutch because it basically lets you draw 2 extra fairies. And that's normally how it works. And sometimes it let me draw into the combo pieces. It even fixes hands. Like there's some games where I just drew my Zoodiacs. Like where I just had Barrage. I went off of my combos or normal summon my Rapier. And then Pot of Desires ended up drawing me a pre-prep and a stick. And then I made Herald and had stick chair. And I could have stick chaired. It was just stupid. Desires is just too stupid good to not play. And I played at 3 because I want to see it that much. I can also Desires twice in this deck, playing safely, because my Ritual Sanctuary can recycle up to 6 spells. Then I can Daigusto Emerald for 3 monsters, putting 9 cards back. So in a sense, I'm only losing 3. So the 9 that I banish are free. And you can discard it with Ritual Sanctuary if you have a dead one in your hand. So Pot is just too clutch. You don't have to play it, but I do. And we're also playing 3 Barrage. Get a little closer for me, please, sir. We're also playing 3 Barrage. It's just way too broken. Like when you open with Barrage, Pre-Prep, and Desires, you have literally a +3. In addition to all the monsters that you summon. When I think it was, I was playing against a True Draco Zoodiac. I ended up summoning first turn Barrier Statue, double Herald, and Trident, and I ended with 7 cards in my hand. So literally all of that was free, and I still had a +2 because I started with 5. It was just stupid. And all my spells are broken. Like if you have Barrage, if you have Pot of Desires, if you have any of the preps, either way, you're good to go. In addition to that, we also play 3 Ties of the Brethren. This is another clutch card. All of my spells are pluses. This is a +1, this is a +1, this is a +1, and this is a +2. The reason being is because if you don't want to use Barrier Statue, if you just want to add fairies from your deck to your hand, you can summon Honest, and you can also summon Star Seraph Scepter. Honest goes to your hand and Scepter searches, so you get 2 extra fairies for your negates. And I do that sometimes when I'm playing like pure True Dracos. I know that, I can't block them from special summoning because they don't. And it's game 1, so it's not like I can sight this card out. So instead of summoning Barrier Statue, I'll just summon Honest and Star Seraph Scepter, targeting my Manju. And it's just really clutch because it literally this adds from deck to hand because you get these 2 and you get 2 free fairies from your deck to your hand. This, everything pluses, pre-prep pluses, this pluses, this pluses, this pluses. The deck is just way too consistent, way too lit. It's really hard to beat, especially going second. I mean, especially when this deck goes first. Like when it goes first, it just wins. 3 copies of Las Vegas. This card is just ridiculously powerful. You search every single turn, and it recycles half your deck. Half my deck is spells. It recycles any spells. Today, when I was playing my homie James, I put Soul Charge back into my deck, then drew it off of my Star Seraph Scepter combo, and Soul Charge for a Herald just to have double Herald in case he Kaiju. It's stupid. Like, you do stuff like that in this deck where you put that Soul Charge back and draw it again. Like, Ritual Sanctuary, I call it Las Vegas, is just really, really broken. In addition to it giving you your searches, it puts back any spells. And again, when I do incorporate her, she's a 1-star. So I can put back 1 spell to special summon her from grave and then get a plus. Like I can tribute her, search for a Time Lord, then bring her back from my graveyard off of Ritual Sanctuary. And when you terraforming, you already have 1 spell in grave. Bring her back, tribute her, and then get a +1. And get 2 fairies, because Time Lords are also fairies. So the Time Lord build is going to be pretty lit too. Like, I just love this deck because it has so much flexibility in what it can do and so many different ways to play the same deck. And 2 extra copies of Las Vegas I call Terraforming Optimus Prime. I just like to nickname my cards. 3 base. You have to play this. Like, if you don't have this, you can't pre-prep and you can't have Herald. So it's like the only spell that doesn't do really much, but it does summon Herald, but it's like the only spell where I have to sacrifice. Everything else lets me plus. This, I like, in a way, I take a neg because even though I get to add, you know, the tributed monster back to my hand, this does not account for itself. So you need the +1s also so you can end with at least 5. Like, my bare minimum is 5 fairies for 5 negates. And, you know, people play hand traps. I do summon Ouroboros, so naturally it works out perfectly. And then the soul charge for a game. Like, I normally just soul charge for like 1 because I know I'm going to draw it again. And I don't want to have, you know, not enough life points to resolve it. And that sums up the main deck. Then the extra deck, which is where the sauce is at. I do play the Zeus. I play 2 Trident. The reason why I love Zoodiacs in this deck is because, like I was telling you guys earlier, I like to match my opponent card for card. And having a Trident, when you end with 6 fairies in your hand and you have a Trident on your field, you can pop one of your opponent's cards with Trident, negate the other 5 cards with your 5 fairies, and still save a play. For example, if I have just like a Manju in hand, I could have a bunch of fairies and then just a Manju, and I can save that 1 Manju for next turn. Like, I can pop a card with Trident, discard 5 fairies to negate 5. They have nothing left, and I still have Manju next turn, so I can normal him, use his effect, add extra fairies, and keep going with my combos. So I love Trident because she lets me match a card. That's basically 1 less fairy that I have to discard to negate. So she's just really a skillful card. I love the interactions that Trident gives me on my opponent's turn. Because it's also another problem. It's like you have Herald, you have Trident, you have Barrier Statue. You can't Kaiju anyways. It's too many problems and not enough ways to get over it. 2 Chicago Bulls. Just love Roadkill and Chicago Bulls. And I nickname her the Khan. If you guys have seen Jungle Book, I nickname her Khan. And this is Baby Bambuku. And we also have the Monkey Man and Bacon Bits. And those are the 8 zoos that I play. If you have 1 Zoodiac, any Zoodiac, even Ram, like a game when I bricked, I just had Ram in my hand. I normaled Ram and I made Trident and Hammer Kong off of that 1 Ram. So like zoos are just way too clutch. That's why I love playing them in this deck. And of course, if you're gonna Desires, you really want to leave your rat engraved, Desires, and then put it back into your deck. 2 Daigusto Emerald, Resource Management, Manager number 1, and Assistant Manager. Then for my Star Seers, this is going second, this is going first to rip a card. Sometimes you rip like really broken cards from your opponent's hand, like Diagram, or when I hit your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and like knew what I was hitting. Like Tyranno is just too clutch, but Ouroboros is like powerful because it could be the Solemn Strike that would have stopped my Herald. Now I'm going and I'm never stopping. And then Tornado Dragon, this also helps to bait strikes because it's like, I'm gonna pop your strike anyways. You want to strike him or you just gonna let it go? And then Dweller for Dinos, your deck, for True Dracos, and random road decks, even my Yang Zing deck. And also Fairy Cheer Girl. Now, she's to turn off my Barrier Statue because I do play Zeus. So when you have Barrier Statue, and obviously when you Ties of the Brethren, you're going to have multiple monsters. You overlay them and the Barrier Statue into Cheer Girl because she's a light. You detach this, you do your Zoo combo, you get the draw. Then you use Ritual Sanctuary, special summon this back like I did on you today, and then keep the lockdown on the field. It's just so... It's basically to turn it off. It's really cool how you can just turn this off, then turn it back on at the end of your turn to keep the lockdown. It's really clutch. That's it for the extra deck. And then side decking. I played 3 Raw Spear mode mainly because of Dinos. I didn't side this against you, bro, but mainly because of Dinos, because they make, you know, too many big fields like Lagia. They might have True King of All Calamities, Lagia, and another just random monster like a baby. Naturia Beast, there you go. And it's just like perfect because you out all of them with 1. And I can still do my Zoodiac Barrage because this does eat up my normal summon. So there are games when I've just raw spear moded my opponent, Zoodiac Barrage into my Trident, got my got my Trident, and just got that extra Rapier sitting there, and then summon my Herald of Perfection. And because they're so low on resources, because I just cleared their board that they played, you know, almost every card in their hand for, Herald's gonna negate the rest. So raw spear mode's too clutch, and it outs Masterpiece easily. Because I've played True Draco Zoo, and you just out Masterpiece, Trident, and the random rank 4 that they made, like Daigusto Emerald or, you know, the Dweller or whatever. then the 3 Kaijus, double Dark Hole, double Slumber, Raigeki, and 4 Mirror Forces. My whole side deck is just for going second. It's just board wipes. So if I draw any one of these cards in my side deck, I'm happy. All I really need to do is just board wipe, summon Herald, and just negate your life. So that's it for my deck profile. And of course, in the future, I am going to be incorporating the Time Maidens, the Time Lords. I think these 3 are my favorite ones. This is my least favorite, but I definitely love the Water and the Earth one. And also Max C. I don't know why I haven't been playing it, but I think I've been seeing too much True Dracos, and that's the main reason. And if I see Lightsworns making a power creep, I'm definitely just going to, bam, drop that diamond. Because it's easy to make and, you know, no Yu-Gi-Oh! So God bless you guys. Make good choices. Be safe. Don't hurt your brain cells. Carthage must be destroyed. Y'all show some love for the squad. Peace.